Hi. Once again, I wanted to put this in a video so you can see my face, hear my voice, see my emotions. It just makes it a little more personable. So I have some exciting news. Through a wild series and turn of God events, I am actually going to be moving to Malaga, Spain. I am not going back to Alaska next year. My team did know that. I am sad to leave them. They are wonderful, and it was a wonderful summer of ministry in Alaska. That God has something a little bit different planned for this next season, and so I'll share a little bit about that with you. So Avant has an amazing member care team. I actually didn't learn about their member care team until I went through Avant Start last January, just kind of a training before I started support raising and became an appointee with Avant. And so their member care team is dedicated to the health of their missionaries abroad, whether that's spiritual, emotional, relational, physical, or economic health. They want to make sure that their team members are healthy, that they're able to stay on the field long term if that's where God's calling them, that they are equipped to serve and to live out their calling. And they do that in so many robust, well ways. And so when I went through Start in January, I actually learned that a facet of that team is Avant's missionary kid care team. They just call them their MK Care for short. And that team does the same thing, but for Avant's missionary children. So any of the missionaries that have kids on the field, it can be hard growing up overseas, different culture, different language, away from your family structures. And so Avant knows that and has put people on the field and has put people in place to care for those kids. So it's not just all on their parents. And the person I learned this from, her name is Katya. Her and Josh are actually moving to Spain to be regional MK care directors out of Spain. And as she was kind of sharing her heart, her story for all of that at Start with me here in Kansas City in January, she jokingly said, "Why don't you just not go to Alaska and just move to Spain with us and do MK care?" And I kind of laughed. I was like, "No, God's calling me to Alaska. But that sounds nice. Thank you for asking." And as I went home and I began to just pray, I couldn't get the idea out of my head. God kept bringing it up. God kept prodding. God kept pointing back to member care. And so I had a couple of meetings, had a couple of Zoom calls actually before going up to Alaska with the director of member care and just asked more questions, shared my story. And as it turns out, God was working on the other end as well, like He always is. And they were restructuring how their MK care team looks, and they were praying for individuals to join that team. And so I get to be one of those individuals. And so I am going to be over MK care, child safety and protection, but also over compliance and training of our fields. And so child safety and protection isn't just for our missionary kids, it's also for kids that our missionaries will come in contact with. Abuse is a hard and messy thing, and it happens more often than we would like. And so Avant is actively figuring out and putting in measures so that it doesn't, so that that's not people's stories. And so I get to be a part of that. I will be leading trainings, going to our different fields, and teaching them what our policies, what our procedures are, and not just the what they are, but why. Why do we have these rules? Why do we have these regulations? How does this keep children safe? And so they're still working on what that'll look like. I'm new for the position. They're kind of reshaping and reframing what that looks like. But why Spain? Why am I moving to a whole other country to do that? I actually thought I was originally going to be based out of Kansas City because where Avant headquarters are. But they want me to be fluent in Spanish so that I can also teach these trainings in Spanish as well as English as we start sending more and more out of Latin American countries. And so, sorry, I have rambled on for a while, but there's so much and it's so good, and I want to give you all the details. And so when I move to Spain, I'll be going to language school to reach fluency in Spanish so that I can then in turn do these trainings in Spanish as well. They picked Spain because we actually have a large portion of Avant missionaries that are in Malaga, connections with our Malaga Media Center and a couple other missions that run out of there. And so that I'll be with our team members. I'll be with Josh and Katya and a couple of other people as well. And so I'm really excited. The news is new. I just found out on Thursday that I am moving to Spain, so it's not even a week old yet. But I wanted you all to know, and I wanted you all to see my face and hear my voice as I told you. And so I just want to say thanks for listening, and thanks for caring. So, sorry, forgot I wanted to end the video with this. I am going to spend the next couple months support raising, have a couple road trips planned pretty much all around. And so if you want to hear more about what I'm doing and how to partner, please reach out, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, let me know and we'll get connected. So thank you.